Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Rudyard Kipling, a counting out song in Land and Sea Tales for Scouts and Guides, 1923. The woman with cheerleading legs has been left for dead. She hot paces a roof 4 days, 3 nights. Her leaping fingers, helium arms rise and fall, pulling at the week old baby in the bassinet, pointing to the 82-year-old grandmother, fanning and raspy in the New Orleans Saints folding chair. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. 3 times a day the helicopter flies by in a low crawl. The grandmother insists on not being helpless, so she waves a white handkerchief that she puts on and takes off her head toward the cameraman and the pilot who remembers well the art of his mirrored-eyed posture in his low-flying helicopter. Bong sung, dong ha, pleiku, chu lai. He makes a slow Viet Cong dip and dive, a move known in rescue as the observation pass. The roof is surrounded by broken levee water. The people are dark but not broken, starving, abandoned, dehydrated, brown and cumulus, but not broken. The 400-year-old anniversary of observation begins again. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catcha. The woman with pom-pom legs waves her uneven homemade sign. It says, please, help, please. And even if the E has been left off of the please, do you know simply by looking at her that it has been left off because she can't spell and therefore is not worth saving? Or was it because the water was rising so fast there wasn't time? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catcha. The low-flying helicopter does not know the answer. It catches all of this on patriotic tape, but does not land and does not drop dictionary or water. Regulations require an E be at the end of any please before any national response can be taken. Therefore, it takes 4 days before the National Council of Observers will consider dropping 1 bottle of water or 1 case of dehydrated baby formula on the roof where the E has rolled off into the flood, but obviously not splashed loud enough. Where 4 days later, not the mother, but the baby girl, but the determined hanky waver, whom they were both named for, has now been covered up with a green plastic window awning, pushed to the side, right where the missing E was last seen. My mother said to pick the very best one. What else would you call it, Mr. Every Child Left Behind? Anyone you know ever left off or put on an E by mistake? Potato, potato. In the future, observation helicopters will leave the well-observed South and fly in Kanye West was finally right formation. They will arrive over burning San Diego. The fires there will be put out so well. The people there will wait in a civilized manner. They will receive foie gras and free massage for all their trouble, while their houses don't flood, but instead burn calmly to the ground. I tell you, the grandmothers were right about everything. People who outlived bullwhips and Bull Connor, historically afraid of water and routinely fed to crocodiles, left in the sun on the sticky tar heat of roofs to roast like pigs, surrounded by 40 feet of churning water in the summer of 2005, while the richest country in the world played the old observation game, studied the situation, wondered by committee what to do, counted in private by long historical division, speculated whether or not some people are surely born ready, accustomed to flood, famine, fear. My mother said to pick the very best one, and you are not it. After all, it was only Po New Orleans, old bastard city of funny spellers, non-swimmers with squeeze box accordion accents, who would be left alive to care. Condoleezza rises at 4, stepping on the treadmill. Her long fingers brace the 2 slim handles of accommodating steel. She steadies her sleepy legs for the long day ahead. She doesn't get very far. Her knees buckle, wanting back last night's dream. Dream number 9. She is 15 and leaning forward from the bench, playing Mozart's piano concerto in D minor alone before the gawking, disbelieving, applauding crowd. Not dream number 2, where she is 9, and not in the church that explodes into dust, the heart pine floor giving way beneath her friend Denise, rocketing her up into the air like a jack-in-the-box of a black girl wrapped in a Dixie cross. She ups the speed on the treadmill, remembering she has to be 3 times as good. Don't mix up your dreams, Condi. She runs faster, to the right, finally hitting her stride. Mozart returns to her side. She is 15 again, all smiles, and relocated to the peaks of the Rocky Mountains, where she and the Steinway are the only black people in the room. The clitoris is 9 centimeters deep in the pelvis, most of it scrunched and hidden. New studies show the shy curl to be longer than the penis. But like Africa, the continent, it is never drawn to size. Map makers and others who draw important things for a living do not want us to know this. In some females, the clitoris stretches on furrows, 8 inches, with 2 to 3.5 inches shaft free outside the body. The longest clitoris of record has been found in the blue whale. In water, desire can rise, honor sea levels, ignore landlocked cartographers. In water, desire refuses retreat. She pulls white, oily meat of mullet off the long, sharp bones of spine. The bones prick. She never once says, ouch, kissing the tips now and then. I watch her long fingers. 7 inches away, my eyes are 2 glossy olives glued to the delicate woman's mouth. It is summer. Behind her, the white curtains she has made move like seagrass, tall, freckled, waving just beyond. I am camera, she is movie. She bites, then rolls, placing plump, soft chunks of fish into the side of her mouth. Her eyes grow big from what she tastes. I study her mouth, not her eyes. Watching her eyes is for later. She chews slowly, never showing what's there. Her tongue twists and falls. My dinner moves in slow whitefish animation. She coos like a woman who can taste any flavor in the world, a woman who can hula hoop in her own mouth. My hand rises, my fingers reach, fall short, then fall again. I want to say mama, pull the flesh from the throat, not the belly. The meat there has more juice than the meat around the fins, but she is the mama. I have no baby patois for what little I know of watery things. I have only 17 months of new desire and only 2 ways of showing it. It's too soon to tell her how much I miss my private swimming hole. That story must wait for 9 birthday candles when I am headlong back in her warm water. She chews down on the flesh of the fish, packs it around good until it is a perfect caramel mush. Catching some of the juice that falls with her longest finger there at the corner of her mouth, she pushes all of the sweet flesh back inside. Once or twice she pulls out a hat-pin-sized bone hiding in the waves of tender meat. Only then does she wear her eureka smile. Holding it up in the air to show me, my wishful eyes rise, her long hand is circled in light. My newish eyes lift over and beyond the white curtains that all visitors believe are store-bought. This is why you have a mama, she says. Her empire backbone finally speaks. This is why you must never talk back to me. Why you must love, honor, and obey me. My job, and her toes pas de deux, is to feed and tell you the stories and keep you away from the sharp things that might slip into your throat and never completely disappear. Her eyes plie into the slinky circles of her mouth. The sweet flesh is finally ground. Salt and snapper, spit and meal are a fine pâté. She reaches her long brown fingers deep inside her jaw. Our hinged mouths open. My fists are flying fleshy verbs in the apple air of her kitchen, balled in sweet anticipation. My chubby legs yoga extend into early orgasmic pose. My chin sets into downward facing dog. My begging eyes and dark mauve lips close in slow around her fingers. The pounded succulent fish and spit lands center of my tongue. I swell in my first chair ever, fed by the mother who relishes the story of turning her back and leaving me once to swim off 1,000 miles, find food, fight off shimmering shark, then swim 1,000 miles back just to drop her beak into mine. I am the lucky girl of the high chair. This is the last poem, and it's not even a poem, it's information. And my students, I have such respect for Canem, I have such respect for the process, and I can't come here and not do what they do. And so I've been on the road for a year. As Toni Morrison said, winning a big award is winning a big award, but it doesn't help you write. It does the opposite. And so I haven't been able to do that yet, but I started this week. And this isn't a poem, but this is the information that will make the poem, and I wanted to put it out into the air because information makes wisdom, and wisdom is what we need. This is called Florissant, which is French for abundant. It's for Lavina Johnson, 19. The epigraph says, I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. They never called me a nigger. Muhammad Ali, heavyweight champion of the world. Some backstory is Lavina Johnson, born on July 27th, 1995, died July 19th, 2005. Her death officially ruled a suicide. She was the first female soldier from Missouri to die in Iraq. She was awarded the Good Conduct Medal and the Army Commendation Medal. She was made Private First Class posthumously. He took the back end of an M16 and struck Lavina Johnson in the face. He broke her nose, he knocked her pretty teeth out. The Florissant, Missouri honors student who loved to play the violin, who every year walked for the American Heart Association, decided to put off college for a while, decided to put her country first. Lavina Johnson, 19, enlisted in the Army and was deployed straight away to Balad, Iraq. First a weapons specialist, then a communications specialist. For 8 weeks she called home every day, her mother, Linda, there at the ready to answer the phone, to hear the voice of her happy, upbeat daughter say, Mama, I'm coming home early. Lavina Johnson, the Hazelwood Central High School honors student, 19, wanted to pay her own way. 5'1", 101 pounds, found in a burning tent with teeth marks on her upper body. The arm and elbow that used to hold her violin, now broken, distended. Her genital area was badly bruised, lacerated, her back and right hand doused with a flammable liquid. Lye was poured, not on top, but into her vagina. The Army said the bullet hole found on the left side of her head was made by an M16, but her father, Dr. John Johnson, former Army man, read the autopsy report, filed for his freedom of information, and then wrote his own report. Lavina was right-handed, he will tell you. How do you take a 40-inch M16 when you are right-handed and curl your 5'1" arm like magic around, then shoot yourself on the left side of the head? He will ask you. The Army found dry Iraqi flowers and leaves stuck to Lavina's body, as if she had been dragged a long ways to the tent belonging to KBR, private military contractor, a spinoff of Halliburton. The Army found the bloody path. The Army found the tent burning. The Army found Lavina's body fully dressed, ready as if for the day's inspection. The Army found her white dress glove glued to her right hand. There are no warning signs nailed over recruitment doors for 19-year-old honor students who grow up loving music and walking with others, fighting for a world of stronger hearts. A 19-year-old who decided to enlist, to go to war, to pay for college in order to be one of the few good men like her daddy. There are no warning signs nailed over Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force recruitment doors that warn 19-year-old black girl honor students that they will have to fight off gun stocks, pounding at their face, breaking out their teeth, distending their violin-holding arms. Run, the sign should say. Do not enter here. Run, you will have a 2 in 3 chance of lye being poured not on, but into your vagina, by he who has just raped you in the soft sands of Iraq. Your sweet father will have to do what no father should ever have to do. Unlatch and open the long yellow envelope. Pull out the photos of his baby's bare and beaten body and look. Run. Your country will stand behind its non-investigation. Run. Your country will not look for your murderer. Run, because you are more likely to be raped by a fellow soldier than killed by enemy fire. Run, because after you are raped and redressed, you will be dragged to a burning tent in the country that your father served, that you have left your own life to serve, will do nothing.
Yes.